Welcome back. It has been a minute since I've been on here. I want to do a garden tour in the middle of January. This is the biggest and most prolific winter garden I've ever been able to accomplish. And tonight it's going to get into the 20s. So I imagine I'm going to come out to some death tomorrow. So I wanted to do a quick garden tour so we can just appreciate all of the beauty and the green in the middle of winter. I know a lot of people right now are covered in snow, and being able to see some plants, I don't know, might help you get through this very cold time until we're all able to do the spring garden again. Most of the beds have stuff in them. Some of them are covered in resting, but I'm going to give you just a little peek at everything that we're growing right now. It's a lot. The herb bed is doing great. We've got marjoram and thyme and parsley and cilantro and ashwagandha and mint, rosemary, tarragon sage. We've got it all in here right now. Does anyone else just love sage? Look how beautiful it is. I love it. And I've got some garlic throughout here. I've never succeeded at garlic. And I'm not sure if I'm doing well this year, but we'll see. Here's the other herb bed that's covered in cilantro and oregano. And I've got some garlic in here as well. The oregano, guys, I'm never in need, because it is just, it's becoming kind of a blanket, which I love. I kind of hope that this whole bed will become oregano. All right, so we've got my favorite thing to grow in the garden right here, cabbage, and especially red, well, I guess they call it red cabbage, but I mean, it's clearly not red, it's purple. They're just so beautiful. I love cabbage, especially homegrown cabbage. I don't particularly love cabbage from the store because it doesn't really taste like much, but homegrown cabbage is extremely sweet. And in this bed, we've got turnips, which I've been picking for months. Let's see if I can find a big one. Oh yeah. It's just gorgeous. I love turnips and turnip greens. So we've been eating the turnips, and also I've had a lot of friends and my father-in-law come and snip turnip greens and take them home and, you know, cook them down and eat them. Over here we've got beautiful curly-headed kale. Actually, I don't know if that's what it's called. There's some purple kale mixed in here, but you know, the curly-headed the curly-headed type. I forgot what it's called. We got a ton of that. And in this row here, I have leeks. They're pretty slow. I planted these back in, I think, September, but I've never grown leeks, so we'll see what happens with these. And over here is a bed of radishes, which I've gotten some really gigantic ones. There's a decent sized one. That's a good size to pick and cut up and eat with some hummus. The really big ones I'd prefer to pickle because they're very bitter and spicy. Hey man. This is the mystery bed. Just when I think I know what I planted here, something like changes with the leaves, and then I'm unsure again. It's obviously some sort of brassica, and it is very pretty. But it's starting, like right here, is starting to behave like a cabbage, but it's not a cabbage because it's too tall for cabbage. So I'm thinking it might be Brussels sprouts, but I don't know. In this bed, we've got rutabaga, which I've yet to harvest any. But when I do, we're gonna have mashed rutabaga. Let's see if I can find. There's some big ones right there. No, that's a big one. So yeah, some of these are probably ready to harvest, which I will do maybe today before the freeze comes. Oh my gosh, guys, look at this glorious bed of mustards. I mean, this is one of my favorite things to grow. Not for food, but just because it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. and it absolutely thrives in the winter. So I can have something really gorgeous. I mean, this looks like something from like ancient times, like something that grew with the dinosaurs. Oh, it's so beautiful. This variety actually is very mild. So my husband and a couple of our friends have been cooking them down and eating them as greens. So if you remember, this is the very long tomato bed, and what I've done in here is all through the center I'm growing onions. So here's one right here. Lots of onions. The onions are taking off, and on the sides, on this side and on the other side, is all garlic. So I think I have like 200 garlic starts in the garden, and they're now just starting to like look really good. I think I maybe planted them too early, and I'm just hoping that they succeed anyway, because I really want 200 garlic bulbs. What you doing?
I want to play with the air ball. We haven't yet.
Okay, well, it's Emery's toy.
Yeah, but Emery has played with it by itself. Now it's our turn to play with it with him.
Over here we've got, what is this? Oh, this is our collard green bed, which we have been picking and eating since Thanksgiving. And it just keeps giving us more and more and more. As you can tell, I sow very heavily. And I know you're not necessarily supposed to do that, but I do what I want, and it goes well for me. So we like to harvest our collard greens young so that they're more tender and delicious. Oh, they're so pretty. Oh boy. I need to get this out. This is the hot pepper bed that is kind of defying all odds and just going and going and going and going. Something has come through and pretty much eaten all the leaves off, which I've allowed because, well, the leaves off of these, they haven't touched those. So there's still hundreds of peppers, but if the freeze doesn't kill them tonight, then I'll be super shocked. There's a pile right there that I never took inside. Right here, I've got my carrot bed. And my carrots, I've never been able to succeed at carrots until this year. And so I'm so excited. We've had a lot of them. We've enjoyed eating them and using them in different things like shepherd's pie. So, and a lot of these are still babies, so I'm just letting them finish. This is one of my favorite beds. I've got dinosaur kale in this bed, and the color of dinosaur kale just is so attractive and beautiful, and like kind of dark and smoky and like enchanting, if that's the right word. I mean, guys, look at this, so pretty. It's so pretty. I've also got some cabbage in this bed as well. These are really starting to turn out. Oh man, this is beautiful. I haven't taken a look at this one yet. That's a volunteer borage plant in the middle of my kale. So in this bed, we've got more cabbage. I've just got different varieties of cabbage, just trying out different things. Oh, look at that beauty. It's small, but it's tight. I might harvest that soon because it'll be so tender and sweet. So I've got more cabbage over here. This variety, I believe, is like a really tall, upright one. It doesn't ball up as much. And then over here, I've got broccoli, which they've all started to sprout their little flowers. And I guess I'll be harvesting that soon. Ooh, that's a good one. Look at that. Here's the strawberry bed, and I'm kind of bummed. I was hoping I'd have strawberries this winter, but this might be a variety that only does it in the spring. So, but it is taken over, which I love. And I planted some onions in this bed because I want them to have a strawberry flavor. In Plant City in Florida, there's a farm that does Vidalia onions in their strawberry fields. And every time, you know, every spring I'll get some, and they're absolutely delicious. And then over here I've got some calendula that really grows well for me in the winter. Okay, here's the Brussels sprouts bed. And here's one that's like, this is the most mature one. And as you can see these little guys right here? These little like nodules, those will become the little Brussels sprouts that we pick and eat. And then back here is just another Brussels sprout bed that's taking its time. They're pretty young. This guy is lonely. His lady died. She decided not to roost one night and something got her. So he follows me around. It's all right. I'll be your friend. So that's about it. Super short tour, but just wanted to show you all the stuff that you can grow in your garden in January. Gardening is not just for a couple months out of the year, especially in Florida. If you live in Florida, you can garden 12 months out of the year. And right now, this is just getting me through until March, when it's time to do the big garden that everybody loves. So thank you for joining me today, and hopefully I'll get more videos up on here. See you later.